times, for example, when she's pregnant, when she has to deliver, etc., she's at a point of weakness where she needs others. This is how God has destined family to be. The man, the woman, and the child. Man to protect woman and child, woman to protect the child, child to be protected by father and mother, mother to be protected by father, and by son when the son grows up. This is the norm. So, in order to protect the woman, then the male relatives are instructed to be with her when she has to make Hajj. On one occasion, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ spoke about that woman's travel. The woman should not travel without a mahram. And the mahram is that male relative that we spoke of. A man said to him, "My wife has gone on Hajj, and I have conscripted myself, or been conscripted, for a particular battle, to go and fight jihad." Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said to him, "Join your wife. Go with her on the Hajj." So from that it is concluded that she should have the male along with her. And it is looked at as being one of the conditions of being able for a woman. For a man to be able to make Hajj, because Allah said in the Quran when He instructed us that Allah has made this compulsory for us to visit the house, to make the pilgrimage, He said, "Man istata'a ilayhi sabila." Liman istata'a ilayhi sabila. For those who have the means to perform that journey, to find a way to make that journey. For the woman, means not only physical, that she's physically capable, financial, that she has the financial means, but also that she has along with her a mahram. However, some scholars from the past to the present have held that if the woman is in a protected circumstance, since the principle of the mahram was to protect her, if she's going in a group of women, there are other women there with her, or other male relatives with their family to take her along with them, the way has been is now protected, then it is permissible for her to do so. And this was a position held by Aisha, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, as well as by some of the famous schools of Islamic law. It was an opinion of Imam Ahmed, as well as that of Imam Malik and Shafi'i, that if a woman is in a protected circumstance, it is permissible for her to do so. In any case, even for those who consider it to be a requirement that she have a mahram, if she went and made Hajj anyway without that mahram, they all agree that her Hajj is valid. It doesn't nullify her Hajj. Therefore, Mrs. Abdul Samad, I can say that, one, if you don't have the mahram, it's really not required of you. However, if you feel strongly about going, you don't feel you will ever have an opportunity, or circumstances such that, you don't see any other way for yourself, then for you to travel in a group, it would be then permissible for you. We have another question here from Mrs. Husna from Dubai. She writes, "Dear Dr. Bilal, am I unfaithful to the Quran if I read the book I'm Okay, You're Okay by Dr. Thomas Harris to improve my personality, because I know I have a personality problem?" Your question, you recognize that you have a personality problem or problems. and you're reading a book, obviously by a non-Muslim, to try to get some advice here to help you with your problems, your character or personality problems. Is this looked at as, in Islam, as unfaithfulness to the Quran? Well, let me say first and foremost that Islam does not restrict our knowledge only to that which is found in the Quran, or that which is found in the Sunnah, for example. Prophet Muhammad, may God's peace and blessings be upon him, had said, Al-hikmah dalatul mu'min, that wisdom, knowledge, is like the lost property of the believer. Wherever he finds it, he has the first right to it. Meaning that wisdom is not limited only to Quran and Sunnah. Wherever a person finds wisdom, then they may accept it, take it, benefit from it. So if you want to read the book I'm Okay, You're Okay by Dr. Thomas, it is perfectly okay. However, you should realize you're feeling guilty because you know you should be getting it from the Quran. Well, some of it is that guilt has a valid place. Because if you find yourself in a situation where you're reading the Quran but not understanding it, which is very common, people just read the Quran, the Arabic text, they don't understand the meaning, believing or hoping that somehow it is going to improve them or make them better. This is a false concept. We have a responsibility to understand God's message to us. Allah says in the Quran at the very beginning, ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ. This is the book in which there is no doubt, a guidance for those who fear God. There is guidance. It's a book of guidance. Huda. That guidance is only gained when we understand what God is giving us, what He is explaining to us. So it is required for us to read the Quran with understanding. We may read the Arabic in order to improve our Arabic so that we can learn the grammar and get our understanding of the Quran. We have to recite the Quran in our prayers, and this is done in Arabic, so we may do it for these purposes. However, we owe it to ourselves. As intelligent human beings, we owe it to ourselves to know what God is saying to us. So if you don't understand Arabic, then you should read the translation of the Quran, translation of its meanings, to get the advice that is there. Because, for sure, if we go through the whole Quran, there is advice for us in all walks of life. Those personality problems, etc., the advice is there for you also. It may take some time to find it. However, that is the best source to go for knowledge. But we are allowed to read other books, but we must keep in mind that these authors, if they're not Muslims, and they're not giving us just straight science, but philosophy, because the author here writing in I'm Okay, You're Okay, talking, this is psychology. The field of psychology is based on many concepts and principles which are against Islam. Now, some of the data, some of the information that they're passing off is correct, it's true, it's useful. However, there's a portion of it which is false. And this portion will be expressed in the material that is being given to you. So you have to take it with a grain of salt. You have to take it very carefully. And whatever conclusions you may draw from it, before you act on them, it would be wise for you to contact some knowledgeable Muslims, preferably scholars, etc., and confirm that this in fact is correct or a good method for you to take. Because having a solid foundation in Islam, understanding Islamic principles, it will help you now to clarify what is right and what is wrong from other sources. If you don't have that, as I'm presuming you don't, then you're not able to accurately decide what is good and what is not. Some of it you may be able to know or may be able to determine, but there will be portions of it which will be confusing or unclear, which you will not be able to do. So therefore, it is my advice that you may read such a book, but before you take things to be fact and act on these things, that you get further clarifications from others who have knowledge. With that, dear viewers, I'd like to thank you for being with us in this series, In the Light of Islam, and I hope that you have benefited and will continue to benefit in the future programs. I bid you now farewell. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.